For energy markets, the renewable energy and distributed energy has actually eroded a great deal of the incumbent energy system, and we've seen that in the form of utilities losing a lot of their market capitalisation, and people having power stations on their roof in the form of solar panels. That's one part of the story, but obviously you can only generate electricity when the sun is shining or the wind is blowing in the case of wind farms. And what's happening with batteries, in specifically lithium iron phosphate batteries, is that the price has come down quite dramatically, and these batteries are the ones that you would find in your mobile phone or in your laptop for that matter. So it's a very well established technology, but because of the rapid increase in usage of those items for those technologies and also for electric vehicles, the price per unit of production's coming down very dramatically, and I'm seeing prices of about $1,000 a kilowatt hour at the moment coming down to around $500 US a kilowatt hour next year. What that means is that when you add up the cost of producing solar power and batteries, it's going to reach grid parity based on a sort of 10-year payback period with some parts of the grid in Australia in the peak period pricing. And so people may decide to install batteries to provide their own power in the peak period instead of sourcing power from the grid. And in remote areas of Australia where they're already using diesel generators and installing new capacity or replacing existing capacity, the economic cost of solar and batteries will be cheaper than diesel gensets. So that already makes a lot of sense, and we're starting to see remote communities installing it. And with the uptake of those two areas and the increase in electricity prices and the further reduction in batteries, it's going to reach grid parity more generally in the next 24 to 36 months in Australia.
So talking about grid parity, if I'm your average Australian consumer living in a house, how long will it take for that to essentially pay itself off if I put solar panels on my roof and then insert these new cheaper batteries?
Well, solar panels can be around a 3-year payback period, and the price of solar, even with a very small feed-in tariff, is people that are at home during the day when the sun's shining will see the more rapid payback period. For batteries, if people are using a lot of electricity during the peak period, in certain parts of Australia, for example, Western Australia has peak pricing at 45 cents a kilowatt hour, and solar and batteries at the moment are about 30 cents per kilowatt hour. So during that peak period between 4 and 8 p.m, it already makes sense, and that's based on a sort of 10-year payback period. But as I said, the prices are coming down very rapidly, and so we're going to see it reaching grid parity much faster than perhaps some of the researchers like McKinsey are expecting. And some of these big research houses are suggesting that it will sort of be a major factor in the energy supply around 2025, but I think it's going to happen between now and 2020.
Who are we seeing offering these options? I mean, is this something that's going to be the purview of an upstart company, or is this something that you think larger energy companies will embrace?
Both. In South Australia, there's a company I've come across called Zen Energy, and they're developing, they've developed a solar and battery system. They're actually manufacturing it in South Australia, and so that's a kind of plug-and-play system that the market can use. But Build Your Dreams, which is the largest battery manufacturer in the world from China, they're offering a distributed energy and storage system which is available now in the Australian market. So I think we're going to see a lot more companies offering this product along with solar companies.
Right, now just finally, any disruption obviously also will bring knock-on effects to, say, the employment industry surrounding energy supply. Does this make a country like Australia, which has invested heavily in research and development, pretty well placed to invest in developing technologies that can take advantage of this and get ahead of the trend?
Well, I think in Australia we've got a lot of sun, and so solar makes a lot of sense, and you can see that reflected in the fact that we've got 1.3 million households in Australia with rooftop solar PV installations. And I believe that, as big users of energy and paying a high price compared to other countries. So for example, in America, the economics of grid defection, where the kilowatt hour price is sort of between 7 and 10 cents. It doesn't make quite as much sense from an economic perspective, but I think we'll also see big uptake of batteries over there where, because of hurricanes and tornadoes and things like that, and supply interruption, there's more of a culture of people having backup systems in the form of diesel generators and diesel stored in people's garages. So I think that America and Australia will probably have a big uptake in solar and battery systems combined, as well as China as well.
Terrific. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.